It's more expensive.
And the reason we bring this up is because we're drinking 2 cups of the worst coffee.
Worst coffee ever.
And I'd like to thank our sponsors.
Yes, let's thank our sponsor.
M5 North Bitumen Roasting.
Where you can...
straight out of Salem.
Oh my God.
You could taste the Firestone in every cup.
I thought it was Michelin.
Michelin wouldn't lower itself to do coffee this bad.
Oh, yeah, that's really horrible.
It's that strong, it's melted 4 of my plastic stirrers. So they're all gone.
Welcome to another episode of the War Room Roundtable. I am Steve with PDX IT Services, and next to me I have...
Dino, the man behind the camera, who's unfortunately in front of a camera today.
Yep, with horrible coffee.
With horrible coffee.
With horrible coffee. But I actually wanted to start us off with something that happened to me at work the other day. I was at a client's, and I've never seen this happen in 30 plus years of working in IT, where they said they have 2 identical machines. And they said one is working just fine. The other one is slow as molasses. And that is a direct quote. And so I'm kind of thinking, okay, application, antivirus, what could be bottlenecking the system? And so I kind of do my troubleshooting. And it turns out that the SSD, the solid state hard drive, was 100% all the time. I mean, it didn't matter if the system was doing something or not. It was at 100%. And I've never seen an SSD do that.
It wasn't a Mac, was it?
No.
Because you don't get any troubles with Macs.
That is not true. That is not true.
Carry on, sorry.
That is not true. And so you got me off topic here, but that's all right. So we'll bring it back to these 2 machines. And, the hard drive was bad. The SSD was bad. So I put in a Samsung 960 Evo, and I got to say that is the hottest drive that I have seen ever. They did a really nice job on it. I think it's a 960 or 980. Anyway, a really nice hard drive, super fast. And they also, and this is a hats off to Samsung, made it really easy for me to clone the bad hard drive to the new hard drive. And so I could just swap them and boom, you're done. It's called Samsung Magician. Really, really nice piece of software.
I got a lot of Samsung drives. SSDs, just each client goes on its own one, and it's they're great.
Yeah, it's slick.
Yeah.
They're really slick. So with that, I mean, I'll turn it over to you. And how are you?
I'm good. I had a Samsung SSD issue in the week. Mm-hmm. Did some troubleshooting.
Yeah.
It was me. The problem was me.
We call that EBCAC, error between keyboard and chair.
Okay, yeah. I'm in the middle of a lot of documentaries at the minute, and I'd been working all day processing while I was cooking dinner, and I kept getting all these errors. Then I tried to close it down and restart it, and nothing was happening. I couldn't save it, and I just had this terrible thought that everything was corrupt.
And your heart just sinks.
And I just thought 2 or 3 terabytes of stuff and I kind of thinking, did I pull a card out too quickly before it finally ejected? And then I just thought, but then I looked, I had no bytes left, which I thought that could be it.
Yeah, that
I'm not a tech guy, but
yeah, that seems like a perfectly good solution there.
That was it. So
0 bytes available.
Yeah, 0 bytes. So huge relief. So
yeah, that is.
Yeah, that's
that
good.
is. So what documentaries have you been working on?
A big part of my job is like telling stories. It's almost like with every job now, it's that kind of personal approach, the investigative type of who we are, the why is probably more important, I think, now than ever. So I work for a restaurant group called Sesame Collective here in Portland. I've just started them. I did their book last year, and they want to kind of build a reputation throughout the Pacific Northwest for supporting farmers, ceramicists, their brigade. It's almost the modern way of running a restaurant. Like they really care about their head chefs and their managers. And so the first one is on their restaurant MEC, which is just kind of an exploratory one really, because I think that the part of what I do with clients that's always underestimated is the time, the gathering of like pre-production and then actually the filming. What are you going to say? How are you going to say it? And sometimes, you do all your planning. You send them the questions and you rehearse. You get in early because they say, hey, listen, I've got an hour and I've got to go. So you go. And this is not the Sesame Collective. This is just Cambray in general. I've got an hour. That's all I've got. I want to walk in. I want to film and I've got to go. Okay. So they've got all their questions and you're there. They walk in 10 minutes late, so they're stressed. But they haven't. They go, what are we saying? So you're listening to this through the headphones as they're talking, and you're thinking,
this is not going to end well.
what am I going to do? How am I going to do this? But they don't ums and ahs and so yeah. So it's kind of like that's a real hurdle sometimes. So with this, it's good. I know that I might get them an hour each month to do their interviews, and then I just spend probably another. It's probably a 100-hour job all up, and we provide a documentary series on each restaurant or on a particular supplier or on a ceramicist, just to promote everybody. So it's this kind of big boat that's just the tide that's floating everyone's boat. So it's really nice, and it's the more you're in, the more people feel comfortable with the camera because like they scatter. Mm-hmm. Some guys, and it's funny, some guys say, I don't want to be filmed. I don't want to be filmed. So you go, okay. And then a couple of weeks later, they go, are you filming tomorrow? And I go, I could be, yeah, I am, because I want to put some product in my beard, stuff like that, So it's and I think it's kind of a gentle process. Sometimes you've got to kind of like, you're missing something, but it's better to say, look, I'm going to come back and do that rather than make them feel awkward or make them feel they've wasted your time. Because it is like, we've only got a little bit of stuff here today, but sometimes you've got an assistant, you've got a few cameras, and you've got lots of bits, and they kind of walk into this situation, and they just... And I find that myself, if you're giving a presentation, that first minute or two, once you kind of get it out, and you're talking, and you're thinking, I'm a legend. You've got the hands in the pockets, you're talking, you're making them laugh.
Hey, this is easy, no
but
problem.
You hit a roadblock first off, and you can feel the little beads of sweat running down your shirt, and you're thinking... Oh my God, take me now, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go.
Drink more coffee, this will kill you.
Yeah, speaking of ready to go, should have bought some biscuits.
I don't think that would make it better.
So what about you? How's your week?
Not bad. I have been doing a lot of SEO work on my website and the Google ads and Facebook ads and ads, LinkedIn ads, a lot of blog posts trying to get my SEO up. And so I've actually seen that needle move. And so it's rewarding. You do a lot of work, let's say Monday. By Wednesday, you're like, okay, how did that pay off?
Yeah.
And then you can say, oh, well, I moved from, let's say, 10th to 3. And so you're like, okay, sweet. Let's, keep going and see if we can get to 1. I always want to be in the top 5.
And it's hard because you kind of feel, and you see it with clients all the time,
Mm-hmm.
they'll start a YouTube channel and they're expecting to get 1 million followers. And I think,
that's... Yeah.
I don't know if this is probably I know it's a borderline correct stat. I think there's about 44 million followers on YouTube now. Mm-hmm. So if you're going to have, and Apple Podcasts and Spotify, so if you're going to have people listen to you or put eyeballs on your work every week, every month, driving in the car, you've really got to earn it. And I think
you got to earn it.
I think it's a great time because we can film like this and it can go out there. Mm-hmm. But I'm always interested to see what success your industry has, like with compared to say, like I know with what I do with food, you can put something up there that's really quick, punchy, got really fast vibe. It can cut. It always does well. sometimes you can put a beautiful recipe up there with a great photograph and it doesn't do well.
Yeah.
And it's just really interesting to see what resonates with different industries.
Yeah. Well, in my industry, in the tech world, quick little snippet that makes sense that people can understand. Like, for example, 2 days ago, CloudStrike went down.
Yes.
And that shut down, airports and, Microsoft and Google and Adobe and, you go along the tech world and you're like, well, who doesn't use CloudStrike?
I wonder if their SSD was full.
Yeah, their SSD was full.
There's no bytes left.
No bytes left. Look at that.
Sorry, mate.
No. And so, you look at it and go, okay, well, who doesn't use CloudStrike? Well, they're up. And so, this is like the second time in a couple of months this has happened. And so, the reputation is really, key with businesses and small businesses. If you don't have reputation that you are solid, then quit. I mean, that's it. You don't have it. People are not going to trust you. People are not going to look at you and go, well, that's a reputable company. If you have, 1,000 Google reviews and half of them are 1 star.
Yeah.
I look at restaurants. and I go, okay, if you don't have a 4.5 or up, I'm not even going to bother.
Yeah, the funny thing, I was doing a presentation last week about podcasting.
Mm-hmm.
They reckon 60% of people believe podcasts on a regular basis because you kind of cross that trust threshold, they reckon. Whereas ads, Instagram, and that type, it's at 18% of people trust in Instagram ads. So I think it's going back to your point about sending out. I think it's a slow. You got to earn people's trust, and I think, like you said, keeping them small is great. We always concentrate on. We always have a little bit of romance in there. We always have a call to action, and the fact, like it can be, this is my mother's recipe. I've been cooking it for years. Yeah. There's your romance. Hey, we're serving it at the restaurant this week. Or it's on the website. Come by, and I think, and there's always tomorrow. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to stress about it too much. I mean, as long as you're on the ballpark, you got your pattern. You go, this is what we're about. Do the best you can on the day, and then there's always tomorrow. Just get it up and try and be as different as you can.
And be consistent.
Consistency is hard.
Consistency is key.
As followers of this channel,
we'll see.
We'll appreciate.
We'll appreciate.
But
see.
Yeah, it's hard when you're doing it for yourself.
Yeah, and the other issue is you have, in the tech world, you have all of these experts, and I'm going to use quote fingers because half of them I have issues with, but you have all these experts, and they do podcasting or they do a YouTube channel, and it isn't worth the price of admission, and so they don't really give you anything. And one of the things that I stress with us is we give you something as we're talking, and it may not be platinum level, but it's certainly gold level.
Especially from me, I'm just the funny guy. He talks dribble, but yeah, I agree with that. I think, but there's something for everybody. I mean, you can look at, you might get a new update. There's a lot of people talking about the update, and then there's some people. It's just something for everybody. I think you kind of gotta. But yeah, we try to. We're actually out there doing it, so the issues are real world to us.
Yeah. We see it from here every day, every single day. So. Well, with that, we'll wrap this session up. Thank you for joining us, and tune in next week for another exciting episode.